So TikTok might actually be banned. And the bill that's being proposed to ban TikTok is a very, very bad bill. You do not want this to pass. I don't care what your political side is and what you stand for. You don't want this to pass because this bill basically allows the government to ban any foreign application they don't like. Now, I don't think TikTok should be banned. Looking back, I might have expressed that I kind of wanted it banned. I don't remember if I flat out said I did want it banned, but if I did, I apologize. My opinion overall is that banning apps is overall a bad precedent to set. And I personally don't like TikTok and would also probably benefit from it being banned because everyone would go to YouTube Shorts and I make those. But still, I don't like the idea that competition can be banned because it's a foreign entity. Now, I picked some parts of this bill to talk about, and to be clear, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a legal expert. I might mess some things up, but overall, I think this bill is important enough to talk about, so I'm gonna try my best. To start off, this bill gives the government way too much power over foreign applications. Any application with over 1 million users has the potential of being reviewed and banned. And when I say any application, I mean any application. In the bill, it lists desktop applications, mobile applications, gaming applications, payment applications, web-based applications, information and communications technology products and services, artificial intelligence, machine learning, quantum key distribution, quantum communications, quantum computing, everything, even biotech's listed in here. This is obviously way too broad of a bill, okay? People said ban TikTok, not ban anything that you please. I think it's pretty slimy to use TikTok as the cover for this bill because of course people want TikTok banned. The US and China aren't exactly friendly, but still, that is way too broad of a definition. That literally is like any application ever. And then this bill also covers foreign entities. So not just application, but actual entities. And what is a foreign entity, you might ask? Well, it's a firm, a government, a labor union, a social organization, a partnership, a trust, a corporation, a joint venture, anything. It is literally pretty much any kind of company or business. So this bill would allow the government to basically take steps to control these companies or boot them out of the country. And the next definition is foreign adversaries, so specific countries like Russia and China. But regardless of how you look at these definitions, this is not good because this bill would allow the US to ban literally any software that they wanted to from a foreign adversary or foreign entity that they don't like. Some examples for you are an antivirus, okay? Not all of those are made in the US. Shocker, I know. So if you have an antivirus that's owned by a company that's not in the US, it could be banned. And then since gaming applications is also included in this bill, you could literally lose stuff like Valorant because Valorant is owned by Riot Games and Riot Games is owned by Tencent. And Tencent is a Chinese company. Tencent also happens to own a lot of other things. So that also means League of Legends would be banned, potentially Genshin Impact, maybe? Any game ever that has a majority stake from a foreign company could just be shut down in the US forever. I don't think anybody wants that, especially if your favorite game is one owned by a foreign entity or foreign adversary. And personally, I don't want that future because I like being able to do what I want. A better alternative to this bill would be something that protects data, okay? Because that's ultimately what we're trying to do. We're trying to protect data from consumers and sending them over to other countries. Because that's what this whole thing about TikTok is about. We are worried that TikTok is taking US user data and sending it to China and using it against us somehow. We don't know how, but we're worried about that. And I mean, like, can you blame people in the US for being worried about that? I mean, China is kind of a surveillance state with facial recognition literally everywhere. So it wouldn't be a shocker if they were using TikTok for facial recognition or something, but like, that is a whole other can of worms. And from what I understand, that has not been proven, to be clear. But still, this should be a data protection bill, not a let's control things that we want to bill. And this bill gets worse because there is a section called unlawful act of circumventing blocks. And basically this means that potentially VPNs could be banned to access these websites. So if you ever use a VPN to like watch Netflix or something and see copyrighted material, that could potentially not even be allowed anymore because you'd be circumventing blocks in place or something along those lines. That might be a stretch, but still, I don't like the idea of the country imposing on VPNs because every country that I know of that is imposed on VPNs is not in a good state for the people at all, or democracy, like China. And I really personally would not like VPNs to be banned because I use them, and I really don't think they should ever be banned. I think they're pretty integral to your internet freedom to be able to use a VPN. And to be clear, this isn't a definite VPN ban. The language in the bill is unclear, as all bills are. So VPNs could be totally fine, or they could just totally not be. We'd have to see if this bill gets passed and then find out. which I would rather not do. And then let's assume VPNs are actually banned. What is the punishment for using a VPN? Well, potentially it could be $250,000, and then an unlawful act would be no more than $1 million. And that's for like criminal stuff if I'm not mistaken. So a civil violation, which would be you using a VPN potentially, would be no more than $250,000. This just sounds like a really bad bill, especially if a civil violation is no more than $250,000. That is insane. Even if you were fined a couple thousand for using a VPN, that is insane. I am actually kind of shocked this bill is in the US because this bill is ridiculously restrictive. Out of all the countries in the world, I didn't think the US would be pulling this, but this bill is trying to turn the internet on its head and make it US centric. And I don't want to live in a world where the US is restricted. I like being able to go to foreign websites. It's interesting, okay? Have you ever been on Bibbly? This website is goofy, okay? I like going on it occasionally. I can't read anything on it, but it's still funny because you click a video and there's just Chinese walls of text everywhere and you have no idea why. The videos on there are genuinely unwatchable. China needs a better YouTube, okay? Because that is all they have currently, and it's not great. And fun fact, you can find Strixo on Bibbly, okay? Sometimes people just upload stuff to Bibbly and give it Chinese subtitles, and bada bing, bada boom, you're now a Bibbly content creator. But back to the bill. This bill is potentially a problem. Yes. There is one potentially saving grace, though, if it does pass, and I really hope it doesn't. There has to be a review process when the app is banned. So maybe this bill won't go haywire, at least in the short term, but in the long term, I definitely don't see it being a good thing. Because the last bill we had that was rushed out during a panic and fear frenzy was the Patriot Act. And I've seen this bill compared to the Patriot Act, but for the internet. And I don't think it's as bad as the Patriot Act, but there is one thing about the Patriot Act that pretty much everyone can agree is a failure. And also one of the most annoying things to ever exist. And that is the TSA. I don't know a single person who likes the TSA and respects the TSA, okay? And there's a good reason for that. And the reason is the TSA is notoriously bad at their jobs. They fail more than 50% of weapon checks anytime they're tested. What kind of security is that? That's not security, okay? That's the illusion of security. And they make you take off your shoes, check your bags, all that kind of stuff for literally no reason. Also, I'd like to say, a little side tangent, literally going to other countries as a US citizen feels less invasive and less stressful than coming back to the US. They put you through all the checks in the US, regardless if you're a citizen or not. I am treated like a criminal. It is awful. I hate it. After the whole process, the feeling I get is, thanks for letting me back into my home country, I guess. But the TSA is a long-term impact that has not benefited the people. It just is an annoyance and gives the illusion of security and wastes money because they don't actually do their jobs. And I'm worried this bill, if passed, will turn into that. Something that just shouldn't really exist, but we keep it there because why not? And I really hope this bill doesn't go through because I like the free internet, okay? And I thought being in the US kind of secured that, but I guess not. So I hope the bill is either changed to be more specific, especially on the VPN point, okay? Because if I'm recalling correctly, politicians did say they're not going after VPN companies. But this bill doesn't explicitly say they're not doing that, so I don't believe them. But that's the bill. I did the best I could at making it digestible. Again, I'm not a legal expert. I'm not the best at reading legal mumbo jumbo like this. So I'll leave a link down below to the actual bill, as well as a summary website that's pretty unbiased and gets the point across pretty easily. But tell me what you think down below in the comments. Like and subscribe if you're new, and click the end screen to check out more of my content, and have a good one.